protect your own trivia, we're going to have to make you be honest now to be sure if you got it right. Mark it right. What's the answer to that? Clyde. And what was the story about Clyde? Why was he a thief? Tell the story, Clyde.
This is not near as bad as my sister, but anyway, when I was between during my junior year in high school, we had hot lunch, and they had milk. The boy brings the milk into the hot lunch. Cans, you know, they didn't have little cups like we got now. So one day he brought the milk in. This is during the war, by the way. He brought the milk in and he said, "Hey, why don't we all go to Memphis?" Memphis is 90 miles from home, and everybody didn't know that. Anyway, so we took off and went to Memphis. And one of the ladies didn't know who we were going. Nobody didn't know we were going to have the car road. Going down, it just so happened, going down to Memphis, we passed the roadhouse at the service station, and we all put our money together. If every bit of the money, you couldn't buy a car, and they had recaps for those kids in the war. So we bought the recap, put the recap car on, and started going back to home. We hadn't gone over 10 miles, so boom, that recap all came off, completely off. So we had to stop. We put the spare back on and had a big knock. We went down, just a little way down here, we passed this roadhouse. And I'll bet you there was 100 cars clear out the highway. We stopped, we started walking around the road. One of the boys said, "Hey, over here's a pickup truck, it's got a brand new wheel and car on it." So we discussed it. I read it through it. I said, "No, that's what we got." And then they get home, anyway, they grabbed the wheel and the tire. I was more scared, I wasn't as much scared of the law as I thought these guys coming out of this roadhouse and catching us, because that's just like a horse, you know, the old west, stealing your horse almost in to steal the tire that you get in to buy a tire. Anyway, we took the wheel, put it in the car, went up the road about 5 or 6 miles from the service station there. There's a road, we left the light on, the air hose was out. We stopped, changed the wheel of the car. We took the car off, put it on the wheel, went home. And also, my parents would never be this dull. The boy that had the car, has to tell his dad, "Son, here he comes on with a new tire in the car." His dad said, "The car had me." So we was going down the road, and there was a hill there, and this car was out of the back of the truck. And so let's stop and get it. Anyway, that's my Escalado story.
Hey, Ruby, right back there tonight. There she is. 50-mile radius. One of our family members is in attendance today is a hit-and-run driver. How could she be the deputy sheriff if she's a hit-and-run driver?
When you're 78, you get a microphone. Ruby was courting my brother, and he sent me after her, which was what, 10 miles together? And I felt real fine. I was 16, and I picked up Ruby, we were starting across Main Street on the bus. And this old man, what was his name, Ruby? I had a coffee, right? He stepped off the curb, and I Ruby said, "I'll let you stay home. Let's go."
Who paid for the first car? Oh, you did. Oh, that's good. First car and old car. That's great. 2 of us are reformed arsonists, and they burned one whole field belonging to Uncle Charlie. Jimmy and David. How'd that happen? 4 years.
That's a real good story, David. Real true. As I was walking down the road there, and I saw David over there playing with matches. And I went over there and said, David, you're going to burn the field down. He threw matches out there and started burning. I didn't want him to get in trouble all by himself. So all these years, my parents just kind of dog.
Who of us is a professional tour guide? Oh, she's giving tours to almost everybody in this room. And she's certified in the city of Milwaukee. Whoever spent his or her life posing as a pharmacist. Sure. She cured my father of a bad back disease by giving him leg medicine like that. Had the wrong prescription, but it worked wonderfully. Who became a famous inventor and knew Will Rogers personally? Uncle Lance. What did he invent? Pat or Uncle Lance invent? Come on, pictures of Uncle Lance's invention back then. Has the money still coming in for it? You haven't seen it. What about? Yeah, as your career is about
he liked to dress up and look right. So he stayed, I don't know really how long out there, I was kind of little. But he packed all these good clothes and he's coming back to Hoffman and show him what he had accomplished in the big city. So he packed his clothes in California, he wanted to drive her back to Missouri. So he was not driving. He took a suitcase, fastened them on the car somewhere. And somewhere in the state of Arizona,
what guitarist is famous for her rendition of Blow, Little Blow Burner? Joy. Are you still trying, Joy? Oh, hey, abroad? I did. Yeah, that's right. I went abroad. I'm not saying how much I studied. Who took care of the famous septuplets? Little Ann. Where are you, Ann? Who fishes in a... Uncle Wayne. Who wore... Okay. Ah, yes.
Except for the shoes. She was like,
absolutely. Okay, those are good questions. Thank you very much for putting them up. I was asked if I read the story I wrote on Grandmother and the Hobos, which I'm always happy to do. This was published several years ago in Mission Journal, and so I'll try to read it for you. Mom and the Hobos is called. I walked over the old farm today. All the buildings are gone. The chicken house, cowshed, smokehouse, barn. Even the white clapboard home place is missing. Blanketed now of the dark blue-green waist-high soybeans. Except for the slight rise in the field, I cannot found the right-of-way for the trains run twice a day behind the house. Screaming whistles to clear the crack of wayward cows and inattentive boys. The train carried hundreds of hobos during the late 30s and early 40s, searching for employment, adventure, or escape. Mom wants to receive the hobos who came down the track as welcome guests. She said the farm must be marked, where the men flooded from the trains 2 or 3 at a time. They turned into the backyard as though a neon sign advertised good eats. stooped, weighing only 95 pounds, with a wispy, white mud hair. Mom met each one seeking food, with love and searching questions. You don't drink whiskey, do you? No, ma'am. You try to follow God's will? Yes, ma'am. You take care of your family as best you can? Yes, ma'am. Well, wash up there at the pump, she ordered, and I'll fix you a plate of leftovers. The leftovers were glorious. Piles of meat potatoes, fresh tomatoes, an ear of corn, ham or chicken, and large glasses of iced tea or fresh milk. The brood of grandchildren who summered with Mom Watson were terrified of the hobos. We believed that she was the craziest, most courageous human on earth to confront these grizzled vagabonds. Even her devotion to Christianity did not seem adequate explanation for her daring. Just men, she would say, far from home, needing a little caring. She and Pop had raised 8 children and married 3. They knew about caring. Despite her assurances, the grandchildren would head for the house at the first sign of a hobo. Slamming the door, we would press our breathless faces against the window panes and watch her shuck corn, snap beans, sweep the porch, wash fruit jars as she talked with the men. They would tell her about Detroit, or the bad route 200 miles up the tracks, or a little dog that they found in the last camp. They would describe oceans that she had never seen and mountains that she had only had pictures of. And she in turn sometimes made them laugh. After the hobos sopped up the last juices from the plate, Mom would reach into her apron and give them a little tract from some religious topic, things like God's grace or the plan of salvation. They thanked her. We watched, barefooted, shirtless, in her overalls. We were certain that she'd be murdered right there with the flower bed, and that all of us would be stewed in the black wash kettle out back and eaten by the hobos on the spot. But it never happened. The hobos are gone now, the train, backyard, grandmother, only a couple of turtle doves call across the field today. But memories of laughter and love and caring filled the place. Mom would have been proud.
Of her many offspring. I'm sure, however, that her college degrees and good jobs would not have impressed her much unless we could give honest answers to her queries about drinking whiskey, doing God's will,